What's up? I'm Troubleshoot. I'm super hyped to get back into Arena Breakout, and with Season 2 Ignition coming soon, thanks to them for providing early access to this, there's some really exciting new changes. First of all, the most important change for pretty much everyone is you're no longer going to be facing thermals on normal game modes, or maybe even slightly above that. If I click enter here, normal, you'll see the brand new restriction here is not a minimum, but a maximum of 300,000 gear value. So if you're above this with thermals in the millions, you just can't search, which is great. Currently in the beta, you can put things in your backpack and it doesn't count, but that will hopefully be fixed on full release. That's probably the number one change besides adding a new map that is incredibly profitable. In the description down below, you'll find an interactive map that's super detailed, which covers everything about Northridge and every other ABI map, not to mention a couple of other games. This features absolutely everything on the map, from loot to keys to safes and more. This map is big and profitable. You'll find another guide linked down below where I speak about quick profit, a good thing to bookmark for when the season releases. This place down here, the hotel, has 3 floors and it's absolutely packed with loot and PvP. Though we won't go too deep into that, this map is pretty cool and is the largest map in ABI to date. If we go across to enter followed by time limited event, here you'll find the team elimination game mode, brand new, super fun, and solo ops over here, which allows you to go into solo only modes like Northridge and probably a few other things in the future. This is fantastic and a great way to make profit, especially if you're solo. You're only going to find other solos, which is huge. I've been doing just fine against teams, but you know, if you're not sneaky enough, you'll get clapped. Team elimination, really cool, round based. All you need to do is just hop into it, and it costs you 10 R and 25,000 cash. Yeah, you just queue up, admission fee used, and now you just wait. After a failed search, I don't think this is happening. I'm playing EU and it's late, so yeah. Anyways, TDM's a thing, it's pretty cool. Probably have a video in the next few days about this. There's a couple of new bosses, obviously. We've got Rolf and Kurt that both spawn on TV Station, and Bernard that spawns with an M110. On the brand new Northridge map, we've got Fred, a very scary sounding boss. There's also been a few changes to gunplay and brand new items added. Brand new is the AK-12, pretty spooky looking. Let's plop together something using the, I think, new M1 red dot, pretty much default. Let's stick with this. Bam, 222k, goodbye. This thing looks pretty good and, well, actually pretty good. This could be quite deadly. Not to mention, we've got a 3-round burst mode, which is absolutely broken. Yeah, switch into class 3, bam, 3-round burst, pretty deadly. Running just PP, yeah, not too bad. Class 4, let's see what this does. Then the SVTU carbine, I'll just run this thing plain. Relatively cheap, uses standard 7.62/54. Obviously I'm using LPS, but not too bad. 2-shotting class 4 with LPS. Needs a magazine to load, didn't think about that one. This thing's obviously gonna hurt. Relatively simple, relatively cheap, not bad. Good ammo, cheap gun, easy profit. Then the MCX brand new AR, let's do the same, 130k, and 3 brand new pistols. Not to mention a cool mechanic I'll show you in just a second. We've got the Glock 17, pretty cool. I'll grab this, 5k, super cheap, and M45A1, pretty good classic, also pretty cheap. And last but not least, an F57 or 57, I guess. Sorry if I'm uneducated about this, but bam, the most expensive pistol I've seen yet. Hopping straight in here, let's still stick with class 4 is fine. We're using A1, penetrates class 4. This gun is going to be pretty painful to face. Much less recoil than the AK and very handleable close range, probably further range too. Grabbing some more A1. Obviously pretty accurate medium range. Long range if you can land shots. Much less effective, but not terrible overall. Could definitely be better. Trying out some of these pistols. Bam! Would you look at that? This is the craziest feature they've added. Switching to your secondary is faster than reloading, and would you look at that? This feature is crazy. Known as the pistol quick draw, easily switch, aim, and handle your enemies with ease. This thing's pretty crazy. This feature's definitely going to come in handy for handling some enemies close by, especially if you happen to just run out of ammo. Glock 17, not bad, pretty good close range, not the best. Further range, obviously, just a pistol. M45A1, also pretty good. A bit slower on the fire rate, but maybe a bit more accurate over range, not too sure. Finally, the F57, probably the best looking new gun added. Super clear iron sights, very easy to see what's going on, very accurate and very, very low kickback. This is pretty easy to handle, not bad at all. That's the majority of the changes. The sickest one of all of them is pulling out your secondary and handling business. The next crazy thing is, assuming someone's rocking some crazy ammo, two-shotting, level 6 armor as such, maybe 7N37 and a Mosin, 10,000 each. Their Mosin, while great and still packing heat, has an internal magazine, meaning you can't reload it, you can't pull it out. What can you do? Well, you can actually right-click and now eject the magazine, bam. Small animation, you get the bullets back from the weapon, which is great. You just made yourself 40 to 50k just like that. This goes for any weapon with an internal magazine. Say you pick up a shotgun from a bot, you don't want to use trash ammo, you right click, empty magazine, bam, load up the good stuff and clean out some enemies without having to shoot it first. Not to mention a couple of quality of life improvements, like when you find a safe, if you're the finder, you're also the keeper, you're the only person who gets to use it for a short while before someone else can come and loot it. This is great for grubs, as priority search prevents that. There's new missions, new rewards, obviously, good things like that. Season missions go really, really far, which is crazy. Not to mention the normal missions. I'm pretty sure a couple of new missions were added here, maybe, weekly missions, etc. Quick cash, easy rewards. And speaking of rewards, if you want to get out of combat with a ton of keys or a bigger case, well, right now, in the newest update, everyone has access to the reinforced case, a 1x2. Pretty sure this thing was default, but if you want to get the composite case upgrade, this purchase from the store now actually includes a composite case, 3x2, and the keychain as well, a 5x3, which is great. If you purchased this before, well, now you're getting a bonus item with it. Say what you will, it's a free game. Supporting the devs is great, especially if it means development will continue. Not to mention, from the Customize tab, there's skins, which can be obtained from limited time events, things like that. Some of them pretty cool, other ones relatively unnoticeable. These skins and weapon skins should be purchasable in the future when the update comes out, so you can buy individual items or sometimes bundles, which is great. More support for the devs, that's fantastic. And if you happen to play the previous season, if you go ahead and check out the Battle Pass, which you've probably made progress on before, you've now got cross-season rewards. Here, expanding this, translation's a bit of an issue here, but assuming you reach level 40 this season, in the next season, you'll get this reward straight away. Level 50, 60, 70, and so on. This feature's actually pretty cool. If you play the previous season, you actually get something for playing the next. You can claim rewards in the Claim tab here. Now, while I did say that you need to pay for a composite case or bulletproof case, this bulletproof case you can actually earn through a mission. Clicking to obtain this, you can purchase it obviously for cash straight away, or completing quest lines far enough actually give it to you, like in Tarkov you'd get the Kappa container. Obviously it was a required paid item before, but now that it's free, included with missions, that's pretty cool. Besides working on balance like tweaking damage, armor, adding new extraction points, lowering the player count on maps, which was pretty surprising but a welcome change. They've added extra loot, extra safes, all of which you'll hear about first on my map website, and of course other tweaks like to matchmaking. If you've ever gone into lockdown as a solo, bam, you try something really difficult, you want some teammates, maybe even forbidden, you take auto match and you just get dropped in by yourself. What's the point of having it? Now the auto match feature should actually try and prioritize you actually getting teammates. Obviously to a certain point, nobody really knows how it's changed, but if you have this ticked, you should most definitely hopefully be stuck with other players more than before. Also, another great improvement, if you're a goober buying thermal sights or thermal imaging for your helmets, these things actually no longer see through glass, which is true to life, at least in most cases. And besides that, we've heard some future content that's planned, such as a hideout planned for July, and massive changes for TV station and farm as well. Though those last two things I mentioned aren't coming with this update, they're coming with a future one, hopefully. So yeah, Season 2 Ignition of Arena Breakout Infinite looks really promising. Obviously, massive quality of life improvements. Maybe it's time to hop back in. Do let me know what you think down below. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. Thank you all for watching. My name's been Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao.